What is passion? Well, if you were to go on dictionary.com and look it up, it would give you the definition of passion as any powerful or compelling emotion or feeling, or a strong amorous feeling or desire. Love and hate are two common examples that you see used with this. But you have to ask yourself a different question. You have to ask yourself, what is a passion? Well, a passion in this sense is sort of like an obsession. It's anything that you lose track of time while doing, something you're genuinely interested and curious about, or anything that you're really willing to improve upon without really any sort of formal compensation, simply just for the enjoyment and the fact that you love doing it. But for this video, we're going to focus on the idea of things that you love, what you like doing, and how you can possibly turn it into a career. Now, there's several misconceptions about passion, but one of the biggest ones I can put to memory is actually a video that I watched by a guy called Cole Hastings, where he went over the idea of passion and what it is. I will link that video down in the description below so you can go check it out and watch for yourself. But in that video, he made a statement on the idea that you don't necessarily find your passions, you actually create them. And what he means by that is that you don't have pre-built passions within you as soon as you're born, that you just find out of the blue random whenever you get older. He believed that you actually create and have the ability to create your passions in the future so that you can go and really take charge of whatever becomes a passion in your life. Now, real quick, I want to take the time to go over the difference between a passion and a hobby in this sense. So for a passion, it's actually anything that involves high emotion and high dedication, whereas a hobby has the same level of emotion that you would see from a passion, but it doesn't really have the same amount of dedication that you'd see. Now, the reason I go over this is because if you take the time to really look at what is a hobby versus a passion, well, a lot of the time a hobby gets turned into a passion. It eventually can become a passion, but it doesn't always. But a hobby can become a passion. Now, one thing you have to really sit back and ask yourself if you're okay with is that, are you okay with your hobby becoming a passion? Now, the reason I ask this is because 9 times out of 10, you do a hobby because it's fun and it's enjoyable and you just genuinely get joy from doing it. But with a passion, it's not mutually exclusive from the ups and downs of life. Well, a passion has ups and downs. There's good and there's bad. A hobby a lot of times doesn't have that. But if you want your hobby to become a passion and you're okay with it, you have to accept the fact that there will be ups and downs with that passion. Now remember, this is on a career sense, so it's possible you could make a hobby into a passion that's not career-based, so there won't be as many ups and downs. But nevertheless, there will be ups and downs. You have to genuinely sit back and ask yourself, are you okay with that hobby no longer just being for fun? And are you willing to accept the fact that there will be ups and downs with this new passion that you want to create? Now, another misconception is you hear stories all the time of these people saying they have no passion, which chances are they might not, but there's a really good chance that they do. It's just the problem is they haven't tried enough to actually find something that they could turn into a passion, or they haven't given it enough time. You're not going to realize right away if something's a passion. You have to give it time. Chances are you should give it at least a month, because by then you can get a pretty good idea and a pretty good baseline as to if you can turn that into a passion of yours or not. Now, another misconception, and kind of along the lines of the people we just alluded to, you see people who see others who have found their passion and think, oh, they just found the passion they've been good at or they've had since they were younger. Kind of like they were pre-built with that passion, which, as we just went over, isn't really true. You're not just born with passions. Okay, this is all well and great, but now you may be asking yourself, how do I find what I'm truly passionate about? Well, one of the main things is you have to go out there and experience different things, experience life, and see what you enjoy. But you have to keep in the back of your mind that while you're doing that, you probably should ask yourself this important question, which is, do I genuinely enjoy what I was doing, and could I see myself coming to this long term? Now, another good suggestion is you could actually bust out a laptop, notebook, journal, anything you can write on, or anything you can write a list on, and make a bullet point list. Take 5 to 10 minutes, just write out everything you enjoy doing. When you do that, take one thing from that list, circle it, X it out, check mark it off, take one thing, pick it, and commit to it for 1 month, 30 to 31 days. Take 1 month and just commit to that thing, because by the end of that month, you'll have a pretty good idea of if you really enjoy it or not. And the good part about it is, it's not that big of a commitment. 30 days isn't really that big of a commitment in the grand scheme of things. You can take 1 month to really commit to something. Every single day, just commit to that one thing. And if you enjoy it, good thing. You just found a new passion, possibly. If not, then go to the list and find something else and circle that other thing and try the exact same thing. Try it for 1 month, every single day, and see what it turns out to be for you. Another suggestion I have are actually videos and channels that I've personally watched that I think are great on this topic of passion and are great resources to go to. One of them is a video titled What is Passion by Healthy Gamer GG, aka Dr. K. If you're pretty well informed in the self-improvement space, chances are you've probably heard of him before and stumbled across his videos. Another one is How to Find Your Passion, which is a video by Improvement Pill, another great channel. And other good channels are Better Ideas and Cole Hastings, the guy I talked about before. Another resource I can recommend is the article Screw Finding Your Passion. It's by the author Mark Manson, who, if you're well into the self-improvement space, chances are you've probably read one or two of his books or seen some of his stuff. It's another good resource I can recommend that you go and use should you want to find more about what a passion is and how you can go about finding yours. Alright, so the main point of this whole thing, if you don't take anything else away from this video, is that you should remember that you don't just find your passions like people think you do. It's not that simple. You already have things that you enjoy doing that you then have to create and turn into those passions. And for the people out there that sit there and say they can't create a passion because they don't really find enjoyment in doing anything, I just don't think that's true, because if they do that exercise that we talked about earlier, where they take 5 to 10 minutes and sit down and write out a list, I guarantee you they can find at least one or two things that they enjoy doing that they can commit 1 month to. But the main thing you also have to focus on is you have to ask yourself, A, do you simply enjoy doing what you're doing, and are you willing to give up that simple enjoyment? B, is it something worthwhile that you could see yourself doing for a long time? And C, like the point of this video that I outlined earlier, is that could you see yourself turning this into a possible career? Because if you do, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs that come with that. Above all else, the main point I want everyone to take away from this video is that you do not just find your passions. You have to go out and create them. You have to take the initiative in your life and have the accountability to go out there and create your passions, because you're not just simply going to find them. They don't just come out of nowhere. You have to go and create those passions so that you can enjoy them in the future. Hello everybody, and thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If you like what you saw here today, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, as I plan on posting here on this channel a lot more in the future. And as always, everybody, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.